County High School for tonight's quarterfinal action of the 5th Region Volleyball Tournament. Tonight's matchup has the Taylor County Cardinals coming in with a 20-12 record, taking on the Central Hardin Bruins, who come in with a 24-10 record. We're now going to turn it over to our PA announcer for tonight's lineups. Taylor County, they come in as the 20th district champions. For Central Hardin, they come in as the 17th district runner-ups. These two teams met back on September 18th, Central Hardin winning that one 3-0. This will be a 3 out of 5 sets match. First one to 25, leading by 2 will take the set. We get to a 5th set, it'll be the first one to 15, leading by 2. This is a Hardin County Educational Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming, sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all your telecommunication needs. Physical Therapy Associates, more personal attention for more effective results. Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling, a family-owned business with competitive prices, pickup service, and a friendly staff. And West Point Bank, let us help make life simpler. Hometown banking made simple. On the court for the Central Hardin Bruins, it'll be Claire Worrell, Anna Jaggers, Gracie Blair, Addison Seago, Audrey Stearman, and Taylor Nichols, with Katie Commington set to check in as the libero. For Taylor County, Sky Haupt, Madeline Yates, Nell Coyle, Maya Downs, Eden Bland, and Alicia Knezovic, with Claire Melton will be the libero for the Cardinals. And Central Hardin will have first serve as we start. Howe tapped that one over. Blair gets to that one. Seago bump sets for Worrell. She goes back line. It's off Knezovic. Point Central. 1 serving 0.
Knezovic to Howe. Outside, Coyle blocked at the net. Blocked by Nichols. Point Central. 2 serving 0. Melton to Howe. Tight to the net. That's going to be a point Central Hardin. As Blaine got into the net. 3 serving 0. Knezovic to Howe. Back row for Yates. That's long. Point Central. 4 serving 0. Yates to Howe. In the middle for Bland. Blocked there. Pop back up. Howe sets outside for Coyle. She'll send it back line. Gets the point. And it'll be Nell Coyle heading to the service line. 1 serving 5. Sorry, 1 serving 4. Seago to Blair. In the middle, Nichols rolls that one. Melton to Howe. Outside for Yates. Yates with the Coyle. 2 serving 4. To Seago. For Worrell, back line, it's long. 3 serving 4. Seago, overpass, tip kill from Bland. 4 serving 4. Service error. Point Central Hardin. Audrey Stearman checks in on the front line for the Bruins as Taylor Nichols heads to the service line. 5 serving 4. Now serving for Central Hardin. Coyle to Howe. Outside Yates. Doesn't get a lot on that one. Worrell to Blair. Back for Worrell. She'll just tap that one over. Knezovic to Howe. Tipped over by Yates. Nichols gets to that one, but not going to be able to return it. Point Cardinals. Sophia Hayes checking into the lineup for the Cardinals. Sky Howe heads to the service line. 5 serving 5. Katie Commonson back on the court for the Bruins. Seago to Blair for Worrell. And she tools the block. Point Central. Kate Disselkamp now to check in on the front line for the Bruins as Claire Worrell heads to the service line. 6 serving 5. Yates to Howe. Back for Yates. She'll roll that one. Blair gets to it. Now Worrell bump sets. This one going to be tight to the net. Bissell can't hit it over, but she went under the net. Point Cardinals. Maya Downs back in on the front line for Taylor County as Claire Melton heads to the service line. 6 serving 6. Riley Conley checked in on the back line for Central Hardin. Commons in. Overpass. Tip kill from Yates. 7 serving 6. In the middle, Stearman taps that one over. Hayes pops it up to Hauk. She'll bump set outside for Yates and gets another 8 serving 6. To Blair. Cross for Disselkamp. Back center. She'll get the kill. Ramsey Nickel and Elizabeth Perry check into the lineup for Central Hardin. Nickel heads to the service line. 7 serving 8. Yates to Howe. Back for Yates. Taps that one. It's another kill. Abigail Wiltshire checking into the lineup for the Cardinals. She'll head to the service line. 9 serving 7. Conley to Nickel. That one too close. Point Taylor County. 10 serving 7. This is set number 1. Again, it is a best 3 out of 5 sets. Tomlinson to Nickel in the middle. Stearman. That's blocked by Downs. 11 serving 7. And with that, this round will take Central Hardin's first timeout. This is a Hardin County Educational and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all your telecommunication needs. Physical Therapy Associates, more personal attention for more effective results. Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling, a family-owned business with competitive prices, pickup service, and a friendly staff. And West Point Bank, let us help make life simpler. Hometown banking made simple. I'd like to also thank Jackson Houston and Ron Hartley tonight for helping us out on our broadcast. Reminder, tomorrow night we're right back here at 6 o'clock again, as in the first semifinal have Elizabethtown and Bethlehem squaring off. As we come back to action, Abigail Winslow will be at the line for the Cardinals. 11 serving 7. Tomlinson to Nickel. Across for Disselkamp. That one blocked at the net. Popped up. Stearman got it. Coach Zink wanted 4 hits. He was saying it didn't clear the net. Madison Yates checks back in for Taylor County. Katie Commons now heads to the service line. Taylor Nichols checks back in on the front line for the Bruins. 8 serving 11. Hayes to Howe. Tight to the net. Downs gets it over. Taylor Nichols hit it over, goes off Taylor County and out. Point Central. 9 serving 11. Alicia Knezovic checking back in for Taylor County. Yates to Knezovic. Cross for Coyle. She'll send it back line. Commons in there. Tight to the net to Nickel. Now Disselkamp blocked at the net by
And Knezovic will head to the service line. 12, serving 9. Conley to Nickel for Disselkamp. Cross. Melton gets that one back over the net. Nickel to Conley. That sets for Disselkamp again to the middle. It's in. Addison Seago and Claire Worrell back in for Central Hardin. Seago heads to the service line. 10 serving 12. For Downs in the middle, goes back line, Commons and gets that one to Nickel. Outside Worrell. That one outside of the antennas at point Cardinals. Eden Bland back in on the front line. As Navi Caldwell will check in and head to the service line for Taylor County. 13 serving 10. Seago to Nickel. In the middle for Nichols. Caldwell to Houck for Bland off the front line. Bland with the kill. 14 serving 10. Nickel for Worrell. That doesn't clear the tape. 15 serving 10. Seago to Nickel. Outside Worrell. She goes back line. Knezovic gets that one to Houck. In the middle for Bland. That goes long. Point Central. Gracie Blair and Anna Jaggers check back in for Central Hardin. Claire Melton checks back in on the back line for the Cardinals. Blair to the service line. 11 serving 15. Knezovic to Houck. Outside for Coyle. She'll go back line and gets the kill. And Nell Coyle now to the line for the Cardinals. 16 serving 11. Seago to Commonson. For Worrell, down the line and gets the kill. Audrey Stearman back in for Central Hardin on the front line. Taylor Nichols to the service line. 12 serving 16. Knezovic to Houck. For Yates, she finds an open spot. Sophia Hayes back in for the Cardinals. Sky Houck heads to the service line. 17 serving 12. Seago to Blair. Outside Worrell. Blocked at the net. Popped up Jaggers. Now back to Worrell. She goes across court. Yates to get that one. To Coyle. Bland sends it over. Commonson to Blair in the middle. Stearman takes a big swing. And a net violation on Taylor County Point Central. Kate Disselkamp checks back in on the front line for Central Hardin. Claire Worrell heads to the service line. 13 serving 17.
for Yates in the middle. Tapped over. She gets another kill. Central Hardin takes their second timeout. And a reminder, tomorrow we're right back here at LaRue County at 6 o'clock as we will have the semifinal between Elizabethtown and Bethlehem. The winner of this match will take on the winner of the later match tonight, Thomas Nelson in Greene County. And then the championship match will be on Wednesday at 6:30. Friday, we close out the regular season of football as North Bullitt comes to take on Central Hardin. Kickoff time scheduled for 7:30. Back to action. Riley Conley checks in on the back line for the Bruins. Claire Melton heads to the service line for the Cardinals. 18 serving 13.
Now serving the Cardinals, number 1, Claire Melton.
Conley to Blair in the middle. Stearman tapped over. Diving good by Melton. Down sends it back over. Conley to Blair for Disselkamp. Splits down the middle. Point Central Hardin. Ramsey Nickel and Elizabeth Perry check in for the Bruins. Nickel heads to the service line. 14 serving 18. Back in for the Cardinals. She'll head to the service line. 19 serving 14. Conley to Nickel in the middle. Stearman, big swing. Sent back over by Wiltshire. Now Nickel bump sets for Disselkamp. She tours the block. Madison Yates back in on the back line. Madeline Yates back in on the back line for the Cardinals. As Katie Commons is now to serve for Central Hardin. 15 serving 19. Yates back over. Tip kill for Taylor Nichols. And Alicia Knezovic back in for Taylor County. 16 serving 19. Yates to Houck. For downs. That one's over. Commons in for Disselkamp. She'll bump it back line. Yates to Houck. In the middle again for downs. Commons digs that one out to Nickel. Outside. Rolled over by Coyle to Houck. Back for Coyle off the front line. Commons gets that one to Nickel. Outside Disselkamp again. That one dug out by Yates to Coyle. Now to be Melton that just bumps it over. Perry to Nickel across for Disselkamp. Melton gets to that one. Houck pops it up. Coyle just taps it over. Disselkamp gets it. Nickel to Perry who gets it over. Off of Cardinal point Central. And with that, Coach Stephen Zink will take his first timeout. This is a Hardin County Education and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all your telecommunication needs. Physical Therapy Associates, more personal attention for more effective results. Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling, a family-owned business with competitive prices, pickup service, and a friendly staff. And West Point Bank, let us help make life simpler. Hometown banking made simple. We'd also like to thank NFHS, the National Federation of High School Sports, and its support in providing live streaming service. Contact NFHS.com to subscribe today. come back to action. It'll be Katie Commonson at the line for the Bruins. 17 serving 19. Yates to Hauk. In the middle for Downs, and she gets the kill off the front line. Alicia Knezovic at the line for the Cardinals. 20 serving 17. Conley to Commonson. Ooh, that one goes off. Nickel gets it over. Melton to Hauk for Downs, just tapped over. Conley gets that one to Nickel. Back sets for Perry. She'll go across court. Knezovic gets that one. In the middle, Downs. Commonson gets to that. Nickel outside. Disselkamp down the line. Dug out by Yates. Hauk will bump it to the middle for Downs. She just taps it over. Perry gets to it. Commonson now will play it. Disselkamp sends it back line to Yates. Hauk is there. Now for Downs in the middle. She clears the block. 21 serving 17. Conley to Nickel. Outside Disselkamp. She'll throw it to the middle. And the carry. 22 serving 17. Conley to Commonson. Now Disselkamp. Melton digs that one out. Hauk bumps. Knezovic will send it to the back line. Commonson to Nickel. Now Disselkamp will roll that one over. Melton gets to it. Hauk bump sets for Yates on the back line. That doesn't clear the tape. Point Bruins. Addison Seago and Claire Worrell check in for Central Hardin. Seago will head to the service line. 18 serving 22. Clear the tape. Navi Caldwell checks back in, she'll head to the service line. Eden Blaine heads to the front line for the Cardinals. 23 serving 18. That sails long. Gracie Blair and Anna Jaggers back in for Central Hardin. Claire Melton will check back in for Taylor County. Blair at the line for the Bruins. 19 serving 23. Taylor County will serve for the set as Nell Coyle will head to the line. 24 serving 19. Conley to Commonson for Worrell. Back line, Melton gets that one. All the way over. Blocked at the net. And set number one goes to the Cardinals. 25-19. This is a Hardin County Educational and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all your telecommunication needs. Physical Therapy Associates, more personal attention for more effective results. With locations in Elizabethtown, Hodgenville, Radcliffe, and South Louisville, go online at physicaltherapyky.com. Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling, a family-owned business with competitive prices, pickup service, and a friendly staff, available for all your recycling needs. Located at 311 Steel Drive in Elizabethtown. Call 270-982-7206 to talk to someone about scrapping metal and recycling. West Point Bank, with 5 offices located in Elizabethtown, Radcliffe, Upton, Glendale, and West Point. Let us help make life simpler. Hometown banking made simple. Online at westpointbank.com. Tune in weekly for all local HCEC-TV programs, airing on Brandenburg Telecom and Comcast Cable Channel 2, Spectrum Communications Channel 184, and you can always check out our past broadcasts on our YouTube channel. Just search HCEC-TV, subscribe to our channel, and get all your local community sports and events. To make their way back out on court for set number 2 for the Bruins. It's Gracie Blair, Carol Worrell, Taylor Nichols, Addison Seago, Audrey Stearman, and the Jaggers, with Katie Commonson set to check in as the libero. For the Cardinals, Sky Houck, Eden Bland, Maya Downs, Madeline Yates, Alicia Konesevich, and Nell Coyle, with Claire Melton set to check in as their libero. County High first serve here to start set number 2, and it'll be Nell Coyle at the line.
Now serving for the Lady Cardinals, number 10, Nell Coyle.
Commonson to Blair, outside to Worrell. Big swing for Gracie Blair now heads to the line for the Bruins. 1 serving 0. Knezovich to Sky. Houck for Yates. Tomlinson gets to that one. Blair across for Worrell. She'll roll it back line. Coyle gets that one to Houck. Outside Yates. She'll go back line. It's long. Point Central. 2 serving 0. Melton overpass, blocked at the net by Houck. Knezovich to Houck for Yates. She's big swing. That one's long. 3 serving 0. Ace for Blair. 4 serving 0. Melton to Hauk. In the middle, Bland off the front line. Blair gets that one. Jaggers will bump it over. Bland tries to send it back, blocked by Nichols. And then have a lift. 5-7-0. To Hauk for Yates. Big swing in the field. First one in set number 2 for the Cardinals. Sophia Hayes will check back in on the front line. As Sky Hauk will head to the service line. 1 serving 5.
Now serving first for the Cardinals number 25, Scott.
And an ace from Hauk. 2 serving 5. Tomlinson to Blair, outside for Worrell. She'll tap it to the middle. Hauk to Melton, bump outside for Yates. He cuts across, gets the kill. 3 serving 5. Seago to Blair, across, tipped over by Worrell. Coyle got to it. Hauk across for Yates off the front line. Worrell to Blair, back for Worrell. Big swing right at the net. Won by Central. Audrey Stearman now checks in on the front line for Central Hardin. As Taylor Nichols heads to the service line. 6 serving 3. Overpass. Stearman sends it back, sent right back by Yates. Seago to Blair for Stearman. Just tapped it over. Hauk gets to that one. Melton pops it back. Coyle going to send it over. Seago to Blair. Outside. Worrell cuts across. It's good. That one goes up on the upper deck. 8 serving 3. Sorry, 7 serving 3. In ace. 8 serving 3. Coyle to Hauk for Bland. Blocked at the net, popped back over. Stearman sends it right back, gets the kill. And with that, HCEC will take the first time out for Taylor County. This is a Hardin County Educational and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all your telecommunication needs. Physical Therapy Associates, more personal attention for more effective results. Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling, a family-owned business with competitive prices, pickup service, and a friendly staff. And West Point Bank, let us help make life simpler. Hometown banking made simple. Tomorrow night, we're right back here at LaRue County, 6 o'clock, as Elizabethtown will square off against Bethlehem in the first semifinal. Second semifinal scheduled to start at 8 o'clock. We'll have the winner of this match taking on the winner of our last quarterfinal match later tonight between Greene County and Thomas Nelson. So we come back out of the timeout. Taylor Nichols will be at the line for the Bruins. 9 serving 3. Melton to Hauk. Sent over. Nichols to Blair. Cross for Worrell. Yates sends it right back. And Worrell sends it right back and gets the kill. 10 serving 3. Haley Adams checks in on the front line for the Cardinals. Coyle to Houck in the middle. Yates just taps over, finds an open spot, gets another kill. Maya Downs checks back in on the front line for the Cardinals. As Katie Collinson checks back in on the back line for the Bruins. Claire Melton serving for Taylor County, 4 serving 10. Seago to Blair in the middle. Stearman, big swing. She gets the kill. And Kate Disselkamp will check in for Central Hardin. As Claire Worrell heads to the service line. 11 serving 4. Coyle to Houck in the middle. Yates punches it over, finds an open spot. Point Cardinals. Riley Conley checks in on the back line for the Bruins. Abigail Welcher will check in and head to the service line for the Cardinals. 5 serving 11. Conley to Commonson. It's going to be tight to the net. Disselkamp punches over. Coyle to Houck. For Downs down the middle. Commonson gets that one to Blair. Outside, Disselkamp swings, cuts across. Melton gets that one. Tip kill from Stearman. Point Central. Madeline Yates back in on the back line for the Cardinals as Ramsey Nickel and Elizabeth Berry check in for Central. Nickel to serve, 12 serving 5. We're going to have another substitution as Alicia Nexovich back into the lineup for the Cardinals. Knezovic to Houck for Downs. Blocked to the net by Stearman. Melton. Now Houck will send it back line. Commonson is there. To Nickel in the middle. Stearman again. Kill down the center. 13 serving 5. And it's an ace. 14 serving 5, and Taylor County will take their second time out here in set number 2. Reminder, this Friday we're at Central Hardin High School for football action as we close out the regular season. As the Bruins will host North Bullitt. Kickoff time scheduled for 7:30. Tomorrow night we're back here for sure for the first semifinal as Elizabethtown and Bethlehem will square off. If Central Hardin is able to win this match, they will take on the winner of our last quarterfinal, Greene County and Thomas Nelson. Tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, we will bring that to you as well. The championship for the 5th region will be held Wednesday evening at 6:30 right back here at LaRue County High School. Ramsey Nickel, the service line for the Bruins, 14 serving 5. Yates to Houck for Coyle. She'll just push it over. Nickel to Disselkamp for Perry. She goes across and gets the kill. 15 serving 5. Hauk in the middle, downs, and she gets the kill. Cardinals. And Alicia Konechowicz. That's wide, Point Central. Taylor Nickel check back in on the front line for the Bruins as Katie Commonson heads to the service line. 16 serving 6. Knezovic to Hauk. Now Yates. Yates gets a kill from the back line. That was down. That's a point for the Cardinals. Molly Caldwell will check into the lineup for the Cardinals, and she'll head to the service line. 7 serving 16. To Nickel. Outside Disselkamp down the line. It's wide. 8 serving 16. Conley to the net for Nickel. Back out. Nickel sends it over. Knezovic. Now Coyle taps it over. Disselkamp to Nickel for Perry. She goes back line, it's in. Addison Seago and Claire Worrell back in for Central Hardin. Claire Melton will check back in for Taylor County. Seago to the line, 17 serving 8. Melton to Hauk. Cross for Coyle. She gets the kill. And now Coyle will head to the service line. 9 serving 17. Commonson to Nickel. For Nichols, and that doesn't clear the tape. Point Taylor County, 10 serving 17. Commonson, and a tip kill from Yates. 11 serving 17. That sails long. Service error point for Central Hardin. It's Gracie Blair and Anna Jaggers check back in. Blair will head to the service line. 18 serving 11. The RN set number 2. Taylor County took set number 1, 25-19. And an ace. 19 serving 11. Melton to Yates. Just it over by Coyle. Commonson to Blair. Outside Worrell. That's wide. Point Cardinals. Sophia Hayes back in on the front line for the Cardinals as Sky Hauk heads to the service line. 12 serving 19. Commonson to Blair. Outside Worrell. And that one didn't clear the tape. 4 hits. 13 serving 19. Seago sends it all the way back over. Yates is going to send it back over. Punched over by Taylor Nichols, Point Central. Reaching Knezovich back in for the Cardinals. Taylor Nichols now to serve for Central Hardin as Audrey Stearman checked in on the front line. 20 serving 13. Coyle to Hauk for Yates. Touched at the net. Seago pops it up. Blair outside for outside. Seago to Blair. Stearman just punches it over. Yates gets to that one. Hauk back sets for Knezovich. Sent over. Blair gets to it and Jaggers taps it over. Melton to Hauk. Now Blair to Seago for Worrell. Off the front line. Melton gets that one to Hauk. Back outside. Yates. She'll send it down the line. And they're going to say a lift on Yates. Point Central. 21 serving 13. That one doesn't clear the tape. Point Cardinals. Maya Downs back in on the front line for Taylor County. Claire Melton heads to the service line. 14 serving 21. Seago sends it back over. Knezovich sends it back. Commons in now. Sets for Worrell. That doesn't make it over. Point Cardinals. 15 serving 21. Does it? That in? Point Bruins. As Kate Disselkamp will check back in for Central Hardin. Claire Worrell now at the line for the Bruins. 22 serving 15. Coyle to Hauk for Yates. Blocked at the net. Able to pick it up. Hauk sends it back over. Commons in to Blair. In the middle, Stearman. Stearman gets the kill. 23 serving 15. Melton to Hauk for Yates. She'll roll back line. It's in. Point Taylor County. Abigail Wiltshire back in for the Cardinals as Riley Conley checks back in for the Bruins. 16 serving 23. Conley to Blair for Stearman. Stearman clears the block. Ramsey Nickel and Elizabeth Perry check back in for Central Hardin. Madeline Yates back in for Taylor County. Ramsey Nichols serving for the set. 24 serving 16. Hauk pops it up for down. She'll send it back row. That's a carry. And that'll do it in set number 2. 25-16. This is a Hardin County Educational Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all your telecommunication needs. Physical Therapy Associates, more personal attention for more effective results. With locations in Elizabethtown, Hodgenville, Radcliffe, and South Louisville. Online at physicaltherapyky.com. Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling, a family-owned business with competitive prices, pickup service, and a friendly staff available for all your recycling needs. Located at 311 Steel Drive in Elizabethtown. Call 270-982-7206. 6 to talk to someone about scrappy metal and recycling. West Point Bank, with 5 offices located in Elizabethtown, Radcliffe, Upton, Glendale, and West Point. Let us help make life simpler. Hometown banking made simple. Online at westpointbank.com. We'd also like to thank NFHS, the National Federation of High School Sports, and its support in providing live streaming service. Contact NFHS.com to subscribe today. Tune in weekly for all local HCEC-TV programs airing on Brandenburg Telecom and Comcast Cable Channel 2, Spectrum Communications Channel 184, and you can always check out our past broadcasts on our YouTube channel. Just search HCEC-TV, subscribe to our channel, and get all your local community sports and events. Start to make their way back out onto the court for set number 3 for the Bruins. It's Audrey Stearman, Anna Jaggers, Taylor Nichols, Claire Worrell, Gracie Blair, and Addison Seago with Katie Commons and set to check in. For the Cardinals, Sky Houck, Madeline Yates, Nell Coyle, Alicia Knezovic, Maya Downs, and Ellen Bland with Claire Melton set to check in as the libero. Hardin will have first serve. And it'll be Gracie Blair heading to the line for the Bruins. That one's going to go over. Nichols will set it back for Blair. Across. Worrell just rolls that one over. Knezovic to Yates. Now to be bunched over by Coyle. Seago to Blair. Outside. Worrell. That one blocked at the net by Howell. Point. Cardinals. And now Coyle heads to the service line for the Cardinals. 1 serving 0. Service there. Audrey Stearman back in on the front line for the Bruins as Taylor Nichols heads to the service line. 1 serving 1. Coyle to Houck for Yates. She sends it down. Sent back over by Seago, and Yates gets back up and gets the kill. 2 serving 1. Katie Commons checks in on the back line for the Bruins as Sophia Hayes checks in on the front line for the Cardinals. Sky Houck to the line for the Cardinals. 2 serving 1. Commons in to Blair. Seago is sent it over. Coyle to Houck. Just tries to dump it over. Seago gets that one. Commons bumps it outside. Worrell sends it over the net. Melton to Houck, outside for Yates, right at the net. Tip there. Blair sends it back towards the middle. Worrell pops it over the net. And a kill for Anna Jaggers. Point. Central Hardin. Kate Disselkamp will check back in on the front line for the Bruins as Claire Worrell heads to the service line. 2 serving 2. Catches the tape. Point Cardinals. Maya Downs back in on the front line for the Cardinals. As Claire Melton heads to the service line. Riley Conley checked in on the back line for the Bruins. Conley to Blair. Outside Disselkamp goes across. Melton gets that one. It's going to come back across. Stearman sends it over. Melton sends it right back. Houck outside for Yates. Conley with the dig. Tipped at the net. And Coach Zink is upset because it was a controlled push. Cardinals now in for Central Hardin, along with Elizabeth Perry on the front line. 3, serving 3. Overpass, Stearman will send it back line. Nickel at the net. That one blocked by Yates for Perry. Point, Cardinals. Abigail Wiltshire into the lineup for Taylor County. She'll head to the service line. 4, serving 3. Catches the tape, Commons and dives and gets it. Nickel, now Disselkamp sends it over. Melton to Wiltshire. Now Coyle bump it back line. Commons in there to Nickel. Outside, Disselkamp runs over, just punches it over. Wiltshire to Houck in the middle for Downs. Downs tours the block. 5, serving 3. Ace. 6, serving 3. Into the net, point for Central. Madeline Yates back in for the Cardinals. Katie Commonson will head to the service line as Taylor Nichols checks back in on the front line. Alicia Knezovich back in on the back line for the Cardinals. 4, serving 6. Yates to Houck. No for Downs off the front line. Got to by Nickel. Conley gets it. Not going to be able to return it. Point Taylor County. And Alicia Knezovich to the line. 7, serving 4. Conley to Nickel. That'll go over the net. And that was a double. Point Cardinals. 8, serving 4. Commonson to Conley. Disselkamp. That one blocked the net by Howe. Commonson to Nickel in the middle. Nickel sends it over. It goes off of Coyle. Melton gets that one. Coyle able to return it. Conley to Nickel. Outside Disselkamp. Down the line, she gets the kill. Addison Seago and Claire Worrell back in for the Bruins. Seago heads to the service line. 5, serving 8. Yates to Houck for Downs. She's blocked in the middle by Nichols. 6, serving 8.
Serving for Central Hardin, 23, Addison Seago.
Yates to Houck. Outside for Coyle. And she tools the block. Eden Bland back in on the front line as Navi Caldwell heads to the service line. 9, serving 6. Seago to Nickel. Outside Worrell. She goes back line. Dugout to Nizovic. Bland taps it over. Sent back by Seago. Out for Bland. She'll bump it up for Coyle. Sends it to the middle. Commonson gets that one. To Nickel. Back sets for Perry. Cross there. Caldwell gets to it. The point was to Central Hardin. Claire Worrell came down She might have twisted her ankle. She doesn't want to come out. Gracie Blair and Anna Jaggers check in for the Bruins. Claire Melton back in for the Cardinals. Blair to the service line. 7 serving 9. This is set number 3. We're all tied at 1 set apiece. Knezovic to Coyle. Now Yates will bump it back line. Seago to Blair. Outside. Worrell down the line. She gets the kill. 8 serving 9. Melton Houck sends it over. Seago pops it up. Blair for Worrell, just tapped over. Knezovic gets that one. Houck outside for Coyle, and she gets the kill. And Mel Coyle heads to the service line for the Cardinals. 10 serving 8. Seago to Blair for Worrell, just taps over. Knezovic there for that one. Back outside, Yates, and Yates gets the kill. 11 serving 8. Seago to Blair in the middle. Nichols pops it over. Melton there to Houck. Outside for Yates. Down the line, dug out by Blair. Jaggers will send it across. Now Seago sends it across the net. Coyle to Houck. Outside, Yates again. And Yates gets the kill. 12 serving 8. Service error. Point Central. Audrey Stearman checks in on the front line. Taylor Nichols will head to the service line. 9 serving 12. Yates to Houck. Back for Yates. Yates gets the kill. Sophia Hayes back in on the front line as Sky Houck heads to the service line. 13 serving 9. Seago to Blair in the middle. Stearman. Melton gets that one. Houck pops it up. Hayes will send it back line. Commonson gets there to Blair for Worrell. Blocked at the net by Hayes. Point Cardinals. 14 serving 9. And with that, Central Hardin will take their first timeout. This is a Hardin County Education and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming, sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all your telecommunication needs. Physical Therapy Associates, more personal attention for more effective results. Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling, a family-owned business with competitive prices, pickup service, and a friendly staff. And West Point Bank, let us help make life simpler. Hometown banking made simple. We'd like to thank Jackson Houston and Ron Hartley tonight for their help in doing our videography, sound, graphics, and everything else. And a reminder, tomorrow night we're right back here at 6 o'clock as Elizabethtown will take on Bethlehem in the first semifinal. Championship match will be Wednesday night at 6:30, and then 7:30 on Friday night we'll be back on the air as we finish out the regular season of football as Central Hardin hosts North Bullitt. We come back to action here in set number 3. It'll be Sky Houck at the line for Taylor County, 14 serving 9. Seago to Blair in the middle. Stearman Stearman with the kill. Kate Disselkamp will check in on the front line as Claire Worrell heads to the service line. Yates to Howe. Back for Yates, just taps that one over. Can't fire. Riley Conley checks back in for Central Hardin as Maya Downs checks back in for Taylor County. Claire Melton serving 15, serving 10. Top of the net, ace. 16, serving 10. To Blair in the middle, Stearman. She gets another kill. Ramsey Nickel and Elizabeth Perry back in for the Bruins. Ramsey Nickel to serve, 11, serving 16. Melton to Houck. In the middle, Hayes will bump it over. Disselkamp to Nickel, back outside for Disselkamp. Net violation on Taylor County. Point Bruins, 12, serving 16. Melton to Houck. Back sets for Yates off the front line. Commonson gets there to Nickel for Stearman. Stearman with another kill. .13 serving 16. Timeout, Taylor County. Tune in weekly for all local HCEC-TV programs, airing on Brandenburg Telecom and Comcast Cable Channel 2, Spectrum Communication, Channel 184. You can always check out our past broadcasts on our YouTube channel. Just search HCEC-TV, subscribe to our channel, and get all your local community sports and events. To action, Ramsey Nickel at the line for the Bruins, 13 serving 16. Melton carries it to the net, ace, 14 serving 16. Doesn't clear the tape. Point Taylor County. And Abigail Welcher will check in. Shed to the service line for the Cardinals. 17 serving 14. Conley to Nickel. Cross for Disselkamp. Dug out by Melton to Houck. Outside for Coyle, just taps that one over. Nickel gets there. Conley with the set. Block at the net. It's wide. Point. Taylor Nichols checks back in on the front line for Central Hardin as Katie Commonson heads to the service line.
15 serving 17. Yates, Hauk at the net, bumped over by Hayes. Conley to Nickel, back sets for Perry. Touches the top of the tape into the net, not able to return it. Point to Central Hardin. As Alicia Knezovic back in for the Cardinals. 16 serving 17. Melton right at the net. Hauk. Downs will send it back row. Conley to Nickel. Outside. Disselkamp not able to return it. Point Cardinals. And Alicia Knezovic to the line for Taylor County. 18 serving 16. Conley to Nickel. Cross for Disselkamp. And that's going to be a point on a carry. 19 serving 16. Service error, point for Central. Addison Seago and Claire Worrell back in for Central Hardin. Seago to the service line, 17 serving 19. Yates to Hauk, outside Coyle. She goes back line, it's in. Point Cardinals. Navi Caldwell checks back in and she'll head to the service line as Eden Bland checks in on the front line for Taylor County. 20 serving 17. Commonson to Nickel. Cross for Worrell, back line, she gets the kill. Gracie Blair and Anna Jaggers back in for the Bruins. As Claire Melton will check back in for Taylor County. Gracie Blair at the line, 18 serving 20. To Hauk, blocked to the net, back over, and Nichols. Hauk back outside for Coyle, blocked there, ball into the net, Hauk pops it up. Bland sends it over, Blair gets to it, but not returning it. Point Taylor County. And Nell Coyle heads to the line for the Cardinals. 21 serving 18. Seago to Blair, outside Worrell, and she gets the kill on the back line. Audrey Stearman checks in on the front line for the Bruins as Taylor Nichols heads to the service line. 19 serving 21. Knezovic to Hauk, now bumped over by Melton. Jaggers to Blair in the middle, Stearman. That one's blocked by Yates. Point Cardinals. Katie Commonson checks back in on the back line for the Bruins as Sophia Hayes checks back in on the front line for the Cardinals. Sky Hauk heads to the service line. 22 serving 19. Long, point Bruins. Kate Disselkamp checks in for Central Hardin. Claire Worrell to the line, 20 serving 22.
sails long. Maya Downs will come back in on the front line for Taylor County as Katie Commonson checks in on the back line for the Bruins. Claire Melton to the line, 23, serving 20. Catches the tape, ace. And Melton will be serving for the set. Coach Reinecker going to take his last time out here in set number 3. We're back on the air tomorrow night, right back here at LaRue County at 6 o'clock for our first semifinal matchup. That'll have the Elizabethtown Panthers and the Bethlehem Banshees. That one's set to start at 8 o'clock. Out onto the court. It'll be Claire Melton at the line for the Cardinals, serving for the set. 24, serving 20. Commonson to Blair. Outside Disselkamp, cuts at the net, Hout pops it up. Melton bumps across for Yates. She goes back center. Commonson gets that one to Blair. For Disselkamp, she'll send it to the middle. Melton to Hauk, outside Yates. Rolls back corner, it's in. And Taylor County takes a 2-1 lead. 2 sets to 1 as we head to the 4th. This is a Hardin County Educational and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, Physical Therapy Associates, Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling, and West Point Bank. We'll be right back with set number 4. teams come back out onto the floor for set number 4 for the Taylor County Cardinals. It's Alicia Knezovic, Madeline
Madeline Yates, Ellen Bland, Sky Houck, Nell Coyle, Maya Downs with Claire Melton set to check in. For Central Hardin, Claire Worrell, Taylor Nichols, Gracie Blair, Addison Sego, Audrey Stearman, and Anna Jaggers with Katie Commons and set to check in. Taylor County will have first serve here in set number 4. At the line. Sego to Blair. Outside Worrell, blocked at the net. Tipped back over by Blair. Melton gets it up now. Houck puts it over. Jaggers is there. Outside for Blair for Worrell. Blocked again at the net. Popped into the net. Comes back. Commons and will send it over. Yates to Houck, back for Yates, and Yates gets the kill. 1 serving 0. Commons in to Sego. Worrell going to roll this one back line. Coyle gets there. Houck outside for Yates. That one into the net. And another kill for Madeline Yates. 2 serving 0. Ace. 3 serving 0. Sego to Blair, across for Worrell, rolls it back line. Coyle gets that one to Houck outside. Yates, dig by Sego to Commons in. She'll bump it right at the net, sent back by Worrell, and the point for the Bruins. Gracie Blair heads to the line for the Bruins. 1 serving 3. To Houck for Yates. Off speed, finds a spot. Sophia Hayes checks in on the front line. Sky Houck to the service line. 4 serving 1. Tomlinson to Blair for Worrell. Coyle gets to it. Hayes not going to be able to return it. Audrey Stearman checks in on the front line as Taylor Nichols heads to the service line. 2 serving 4. Melton to Houck for Yates, and Yates with another kill. Maya Downs checks back in on the front line. Claire Melton to the service line. 5 serving 2. And Collins able to get it back over. Melton dumped over by Houck. Sego gets to that one. Commons in outside for Worrell. Not able to clear the net. Point Taylor County. 6 serving 2. Sego to Blair for Stearman.
Yates pops it up. Houck back outside for Yates. She goes middle. Seago gets that one to Blair. She'll dump that one over. Houck is there. Melton for Yates. She rolls it and gets the kill. And with that, Central Hardin will take their first timeout here in set number 4. This is a Hardin County Educational and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all your telecommunication needs. Physical Therapy Associates, more personal attention for more effective results. Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling, a family-owned business with competitive prices, pickup service, and a friendly staff. And West Point Bank, let us help make life simpler. Hometown banking made simple. Online at westpointbank.com. I'd also like to thank NFHS, the National Federation of High School Sports, and its support in providing live streaming service. Contact NFHS.com to subscribe today. Timeout. Declare Melton at the line for the Cardinals. 7 serving 2. Seago to Blair in the middle. Stearman dug out by Houck to Melton. And Yates blocked inside by Stearman. Kate Disselkamp will check in for Central Hardin. As Claire Worrell heads to the service line. 3 serving 7. Melton to Houck. For Yates, back corner, another kill for Madeline Yates. Riley Conley will check in for Central Hardin as Abigail Welcher checks in for the Cardinals and heads to the service line. 8 serving 3. Conley to Blair in the middle. Stearman, she gets another kill. Madeline Yates back in for the Cardinals, and Alicia Knezovic back in for Central Hardin. Elizabeth Perry and Reese Nickel back in. Serving 8. Melton to Knezovic. It's going to be right at the net. Point. Oh, a net violation on Taylor County. Point Central. Five serving 8. To Houck in the middle for Downs, pushes over, it's in. Alicia Knezovic to the line for the Cardinals. 9 serving 5. Conley to Commons, and this will be right at the net. Blocked at the net by Downs. Pop back up. Commons are going to send it for Disselkamp. That one blocked at the net. 10 serving 5. That was wide. Point Central. Taylor
Nichols checks back in on the front line as Katie Collinson heads to the service line. 6, serving 10. Central Hardin must have this set in order to continue the match. Yates to Hauk in the middle for Downs. Blocked there by Stearman. Sent back over by Yates. Collinson to Nickel. Outside Disselkamp. And that hit the antennas. Ball out, point Cardinals. Navi Caldwell will check in and head to the service line. Eden Bland heads to the front line for the Cardinals. 11 serving 6. Collinson to Nickel for Perry, and she gets the kill. Claire Melton back in for Taylor County as Addison Seago and Claire Worrell check back in for Central Hardin. Seago to the line, 7, serving 11. Melton to Hauk. Cross for Coyle. Dig out by Seago to Nickel. Bump sets for Worrell. Back line. Yates gets it. Not able to return it. 8, serving 11. Nezovic to count now. Coyle backline, Commons in there. Tapped over, that's going to be a double. Point, Cardinals. And Nell Coyle heads to the line for the Cardinals. 12, serving 8. Collinson to Nickel. Back sets for Perry, rolls that one over. Nezovic to Coyle. Now Knezovic will send it over. Seago to Nickel. Cross for Worrell. Worrell gets the kill. Gracie Blair and Anna Jaggers back in for the Bruins. Serving 12. Coyle to Hauk for Yates. Backline, Commons and gets that one. To Blair, outside, Worrell. Down the line, she gets the kill. 10, serving 12. Taylor County will take their first time out here in set number 4. The winner of this match will take on the winner of our last quarterfinal, which will be held later tonight as Thomas Nelson and Greene County will square off. Schedule time started. It was supposed to be 8 o'clock. It's going to be pushed back later than that. At the end of this match, we will have a player named to the all-tournament team. Then tomorrow night, we're back here at 6 o'clock as Elizabethtown will take on Bethlehem in the first semifinal match of the day. And Friday night, we're back on the air as kickoff time is 7:30 as North Bullitt comes to take on the Central Hardin Bruins. Back out onto the court. Gracie Blair at the line for the Bruins. 10, serving 12. We are in set number 4. Taylor County leads 2 sets to 1.
Melton to Hauk, outside for Yates. Cuts across, gets the kill. Sophia Hayes back in on the front line for the Cardinals. As Sky Hauk heads to the service line. 13 serving 10. Seago to Commonson. Now for Worrell, back line. Coyle to Hauk, outside Yates. Big swing blocked at the net. Hauk for Melton. They're going to set Yates up again. She gets the kill there. 14 serving 10. Commonson to Blair for Worrell. That's long. 15 serving 10. Oh, they're going to say it was touched. Point Central Hardin. Taylor Nichols will head to the line for the Bruins. 11 serving 14. Audrey Stearman checked in on the front line for Central Hardin. Yates to Hauk. Outside Hayes cuts across, it's wide. 12 serving 14. Yates to Hauk, back for Yates. Yates with the, oh, a carry. Coach Zink not happy about that one. You can guide the ball where you want it to go. The official is saying it is behind the head where she's grabbing it before she's pushing it. Serving 14. Yates to Hauk for Yates. Big swing and a kill. Maya Downs back in on the front line for the Cardinals. As Claire Melton heads to the service line. 15 serving 13. Ace. 16 serving 13. Seago to Blair. Outside Worrell, blocked at the net by Hayes. Serving 13. Commonson to Blair in the middle for Stearman, tapped over off the blockers. Point Bruins. Kate Disselkamp will check in for Central Hardin as Claire Worrell heads to the service line. 14 serving 17. Coyle to Hauk. Back sets for Yates. Yates with the kill. Abigail Wiltshire, back in for the Cardinals. She'll head to the service line. 18 serving 14. to Blair in the middle. Stearman, she gets the kill. Madeline Yates checks back in on the back line for the Cardinals as Reese Nickel and Elizabeth Perry check in for the Bruins. Ace. Oh, played back in. Good play by Hoyle. Not going to make it over. Point Central. Alicia Knezovich back in for the Cardinals. 16 serving 18. Melton right at the net. Hauk outside for Coyle. Goes down the line, it's wide. 17 serving 18. Yates to Hauk outside. Coyle blocked at the net by Stearman. 18 serving 18. Timeout, Taylor County. This is a Hardin County Educational and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, Physical Therapy Associates, Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling, and West Point Bank. Tune in weekly for all local HCEC-TV programs airing on Brandenburg Telecom and Comcast Cable Channel 2, Spectrum Communications Channel 184, and you can always check out our past broadcasts on our YouTube channel. Just search HCEC-TV, subscribe to our channel, and get all your local community sports and events. It'll be Reese Nickel at the line for the Bruins, 18 serving 18. Yates to Hauk in the middle for Downs, pushed over, and it's in. Net violation on Central Hardin. And Alicia Knezovic to the line for the Cardinals, 19 serving 18. Service error, point to the Bruins. Taylor Nichols back in on the front line for the Bruins as Katie Commonson heads to the service line. 19 serving 19. Yates to Hauk outside. Coyle just taps that one over. Nickel gets it to Commonson. She'll send it across for Disselkamp. Off the front line, Melton gets to it. Both teams want a call made. Commonson now to Nickel. Back sets for Perry to the middle. Sent right back across. Conley got that one. Now to be Disselkamp down the line. It's in. Serving 19. Yates to Hauk for Downs, pushed over. Back two by Commonson. Nickel across for Disselkamp. Back corner, Melton to Hauk. Now to be Coyle again to the middle. Conley gets that one to Nickel. Disselkamp. That one doesn't clear the tape. Point Cardinals. Eden Bland back in on the front line as Navi Caldwell heads to the service line. 20, serving 20. Commons in to Nickel for Disselkamp. Off the front line, Yates gets to it. This one bouncing up into the rafters. Knezovic to Coyle. Commons in, and Nickel outside again. Disselkamp goes across, it's in. Addison Seago and Claire Worrell back in for Central Hardin, as Claire Melton will check back in for Taylor County. Seago to the line, 21 serving 20. Outside for Coyle, pushes that one over. Worrell to Nickel, back sets for Perry. Cross, that's long. Point Cardinals. And Nell Coyle to the line for the Cardinals. 21 serving 21. Commons in to Nickel. Seago will bump it over. Melton to Houck for Yates. Dig by Commons in. Nickel. Worrell send it back line off of Coyle. Comes down. Point Central Hardin. Gracie Blair and Anna Jaggers now in for Central Hardin, as Blair will go to the line. 22 serving 21. To Houck. Yates now left to bump it. Back line, Commons in there. To Nichols for Worrell. She'll send it back line. Melton gets that one. To Houck, across for Yates. Big swing off the block. Commons in to Blair. Outside, Worrell. She tools the block. 23 serving 21. To Houck, outside for Yates, down the line. Blair gets that one. Seago bumps it. Worrell just going to send it to the middle. Melton is there. To Houck. Cross for Yates. Big swing. Dig by Seago. To Blair. Now comes across. Worrell will bump it over. Knezovic outside. Yates taps it off speed. Campfire point for the Cardinals. Sophia Hayes checks in on the front line. The Sky Houck heads to the service line. 22 serving 23. Commons in to Blair. Outside Worrell. Off the front line. Coyle gets to it. Melton. Now to be Houck that'll bump it over. Seago to Blair. Outside again. Worrell tools the block. Audrey Stearman checks in on the front line as Taylor Nichols heads to the service line to serve for the set. 24 serving 23. Yates to Houck. Back for Yates. Off the front line. Point Cardinals. Maya Downs back in on the front line for Taylor County as Claire Melton heads to the service line. 23 serving 24. Seago to Blair. Outside Worrell. Cuts across. Central wins set number 4. And we will head to set number 5. This is a Hardin County Educational and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming
Sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all your telecommunication needs. Physical Therapy Associates, more personal attention for more effective results. Online at physicaltherapyky.com. Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling, your family-owned business with competitive prices, pickup service, and a friendly staff. Call 270-982-7206 for more information. And West Point Bank, let us help make life simpler. Hometown banking made simple. Online at West Point Bank. Teams make their way back out onto the court for the Cardinals. It's Alicia Konexovich, Eden Bland, Nell Coyle, Sky Houck, Madeline Yates, and Maya Downs, with Claire Melton set to check in. For the Bruins, it's Taylor Nichols, Claire Worrell, Gracie Blair, Addison Seago, Audrey Stearman, and Anna Jaggers, with Katie Commonson set to check in. In the fifth set, it's first 1-15, leading by 2. Both teams still get 2 timeouts in the set. Hardin will have the first serve here in set number 5. And Gracie Blair will start us off. Ace for Central Hardin, 1 serving 0. This is it to Houck for Coyle. She'll send it to the middle. Commons in there. To Blair. Outside. Worrell. She takes it off the blockers. 2 serving 0. Goes out, ace for Blair. 3 serving 0. Melton to Houck.
for Yates. Rolls it to the middle. Commons in there. Blair outside for Worrell. Goes down center. Yates gets that one to Houck. Now Bland will send it to the middle. Commons in there. Blair again will send it outside. Worrell just rolls it down the line and gets it in. 4 serving 0. And Taylor County will take their first timeout. At the end of this match, we will have a player named to the all-tournament team. Again, a reminder, we're back on the air tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, as Elizabethtown will take on Bethlehem in the first semifinal of the night. And after this match here, we will have Greene County and Thomas Nelson squaring off. The winner of this match will take on the winner of that match at 8 o'clock tomorrow. So we come back out onto the court. Gracie Blair at the service line for the Bruins. 4 serving 0. To Yates. Hisvich over Seago to Blair outside. Worrell just taps it over. Coyle gets to it. Yates pops it up. Houck will bump it over. Seago to Blair in the middle for Nichols. One goes off of Coyle over the net and out. Point Central. 5 serving 0. Ace. 6 serving 0. Now a substitution as Abigail Welcher checked in. To Melton, outside for Coyle. She'll send it across. That's wide. 7 serving 0. Serving 0. Yates to Houck. Outside Coyle. She'll send it down the line. Touch there. Jagger sends it back. Worrell send it back line. Yates gets to that one. Houck now going to dump it over. Seago gets there. Miscommunication. Point Taylor County. And Nell Coyle heads to the line for the Cardinals. 1 serving 8. Seago to Blair for Worrell. She tools the block. Now to the line for the Bruins as Audrey Stearman checks in on the front line. 9 serving 1. Floats this one, ace. 10 serving 1, and Taylor County will take their last timeout here in set number 5. We got to set number 5. Taylor County took set number 1, 25-19. Central Hardin came back, taking set number 2, 25-16. In the third set, Taylor County was 25-20, and then in our fourth set that just finished, Central Hardin won that 25-23. Out onto the court. It'll be Taylor Nichols at the line for the Bruins. 10 serving 1. Melton to Houck. Bland sends it over. Net violation on Central Hardin. Point Cardinals. Sophia Hayes checks in on the front line for the Cardinals as Sky Houck heads to the service line. 2 serving 10. Seago to Blair in the middle. Stearman off the front line. Houck gets it up. Blocked at the net. Point Central. Kate Disselkamp back in for the Bruins as Claire Worrell heads to the service line. 11 serving 2. Coyle to Houck. For Yates in the middle, she gets the kill. Maya Downs back in on the front line for the Cardinals. Riley Conley checks in on the back line for the Bruins as Claire Melton heads to the service line. 3 serving 11. To Blair for Disselkamp. She goes across. Melton to Coyle. Yates not able to get it back in. 12 serving 3. Ramsey Nickel and Elizabeth Perry back in for Central Hardin. Nickel to serve. 12 serving 3. Coyle to Houck for Yates, goes across. Nickel gets that one to Conley for Disselkamp across. Melton digs that one out. Houck pops it up for Yates. Dig by Conley to Nickel across. One more time for Disselkamp. Coyle gets that one to Melton. Outside, Yates going to bump this over. It goes off of another Cardinal. 4 hits. Point Central, 13 serving 3. Melton to Houck. In the middle, Yates goes back line. It's in. Point Cardinals. And Madeline Yates heads to the service line. 4 serving 13. Commons in to Nickel, outside. Disselkamp across, Coyle gets that one. To Houck, back outside for Coyle. She'll touch it to the back line. Commons in there to Nickel. Disselkamp blocked at the net. It's out. Point Central.
and it will be match point as Katie Commonson heads to the service line and Taylor Nichols checks in on the front line for Central Hardin. Melton to Hauk for Downs in the middle. Commonson will get that one to Nickel. Back sets for Perry. Cross, that's it. Central Hardin wins 15-4. 3 sets to 2. This is a Hardin County Educational and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all your telecommunication needs. Physical Therapy Associates, more personal attention for more effective results. Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling, a family-owned business with competitive prices, pickup service, and a friendly staff. And West Point Bank, let us help make life simpler. Hometown banking made simple. Central Hardin advances on to tomorrow night's second semifinal match. We will have that for you here on HCEC-TV. Again, I'd like to thank Jackson Houston and Ron Hartley for all their work tonight in bringing this broadcast to you. For all of us at HCEC-TV, I'm Bobby Thompson saying so long and good night.